Hey, this is Kathleen from oldworldfarmhouse.com. I recently got to visit South Glendale, Kentucky, which is a small town in central Kentucky that specializes in antiques. So there's tons of antique dealers there, as well as a couple really cool restaurants, and the whole thing is walkable and it's adorable. I haven't been there for years and it was my first trip back and I had a great time. I can't wait to show you all of the antiques that I looked at, and I found something really special. So stick around to the end of the video and I'll show you what it is. So I parked my car by the Mercantile, which is this really cool store, and then the town is separated by these railroad tracks, and there's this restaurant and a bunch of antique shops on one side, and then same thing on the other side, kind of. So we just started exploring. The Mercantile had a lot of stuff for sale out in the backyard as well. All of these windows. I always laugh at these because it makes me sad. I'm like, oh, my house has windows like that, and they're so useful. And then as a decor item, they're really nice, but they could give so much good use. So I looked around out there for a while, and then we decided to go to the Mercantile itself. I love these rag rugs, $39.95. They were huge, and I really thought about getting one for my house. This restaurant is called the Whistle Stop Cafe, and it's always voted like the best non-chain restaurant in Kentucky. There's a second really cool restaurant called Tony York's on Main, which is like this very classic American restaurant with beautiful original art that he actually sells as well. I really like Tony's a lot. It's really fancy for this small town, but in a really fun way. It's a nice place, beautiful. And I did a little window shopping. I didn't want to take the stroller into the store. It was just so crammed and delicate, but I did peek in the windows, and they had some really lovely displays. I love those old like 50s chairs. My grandparents had chairs like that. Some really cool little alleyways. My daughter was really enchanted by that little alleyway there. There's the Mercantile with its bunting, and they have a really nice little city park too, right in the middle of everything. This gorgeous live oak tree. And then across from there, next to this restaurant, is Hallie Jane's Antiques and More. And it's got a lot of different vendors' booths in it, but it looks just like a store. Everything on the porch was 50% off that day. So we spent a lot of time looking at stuff on the porch. I thought that was rather pretty. I guess that would be for cutting cake. This was a plant stand, and then of course lots of baskets. This was a cool old picnic basket. I thought about getting it. My daughter really wanted it. She's really enamored of the idea of picnics right now, but I didn't end up getting it in the end. I liked that one a lot too. And I liked this little basket for wine glasses. I thought it was great. I could imagine bringing that outside with wine glasses for a party and serving everyone. So many baskets everywhere. It amazes me. I couldn't even begin to weave one basket, and there's so many. Baby crib full of more baskets. I liked this soft-sided one quite a bit. Cool old bench and Some kind of little heater. I like the looks of that. More windows from old houses. I wish they had ever been taken out. I love that basket. It makes me think of going fishing. And a wicker chair, but not the right shade of green for me. And we went back the other way. Yeah, I just love that basket. And this, look at this. It said a cheese crock. I guess you'd make cheese in there. I really wish I had gotten that. It would have been $2.50. Isn't it beautiful? And then I thought this little wrought iron bench was pretty cool too. And this doctor bag. Huge one. Absolutely huge. I didn't like the cushion, but I liked the idea of this little bench a lot. And I thought about getting it, but then I just left it there because I wasn't sure about upholstering it. Then we went inside, and it's very charming inside. All these Christmas things. My girls really loved all of the Christmas stuff. And the gumball machine. I love these little marble top tables. I keep thinking of putting one in my bathroom. And they had lots of Crocs. Quite expensive. I don't really know anything about those blue and gray Crocs, but I see them a lot of places and they're always being sold for a lot of money, so they must be some kind of collectible. I thought that was some lovely old pottery too. I didn't really... Is that jadeite? And then cute little salt and pepper shakers. I liked this set of china. I've seen this kind of set other places as well. I don't know who makes it. I like that little sign. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we may diet. This little claw-footed urn thing. What would you do with that? It was neat. And we went around the corner and with some pretty china. And then here was a little quilt that I thought could look very French. It's actually a table runner, I think. It was very nice. Funny old pot. Some really pretty, I like that jar at the top in the peacock. And I thought this was a really cool table and chair set, like for outside. It seems so 50s. And I love those pink glasses and picture. How fun. Maybe think of my grandmother. Something she would have had in her sunroom or something. And they had some vintage clothing. I loved the pattern on that red dress. It was really French. That blue striped one was very old. Vintage handmade 40s feed sack dress. I don't know why it's called a feed sack because I don't think feed sacks had that kind of pattern on them, but maybe it's just the way it was cut. Came to be called feed sack. You can see this whole building was an old log cabin. Lots more bells. I'm still looking for the perfect dinner bell. Haven't found it yet though. I love that little chest. Look at all the painting on that. It seemed very Swedish to me. Gorgeous hand painted. I think it might be a new item, not an antique, but not that it matters. I don't care about that stuff, but I did love all the painting, and it did seem very Scandinavian to me, especially underneath that light blue window. It's a neat old print of, I guess, Paris somewhere. I touched it. It was it's one of those like kind of made to feel like an oil painting even though it's a print. I think those are pretty good. Pretty not bad for something, you know, cheap. I liked that basket too. I guess could be a waste basket. And there was this beautiful old oak vanity. And then we went over to a different antique store across the road, and they had a lot of really nice patio furniture out front and lots of these cool glass jars inside. Those would come in really handy for gifts, making things and giving gifts. More baskets. Baskets kept catching my eye everywhere. My little girl really liked that one because it had some pink on it. That is a really pretty basket. More of these, I guess they're ironstone pitchers. I really liked this big old brass bucket and this splatter painted tin, which I think was something new. It was like made in China from Target or something, but it looks cool. But that I thought was really neat. And they had a lot of the big old crocks. I personally don't have a use for them at the moment, but I think they'd be a great way to add English country style to your house, to get some crocks. And then this one booth had a lot of really interesting old fabric remnants and quilts, and I spent a long time looking through everything she had. And I actually found something really cool that I've never seen anything like it before, and I will show it to you at the end of the video. So make sure to stay tuned to the end, see what I found in this lady's fabric booth. And she had some really cool things. I loved that little sign. This whole big set of somebody's china, someone's grandmother. I guess nobody wanted it. All these ruby things, I thought they were pretty interesting. If someone was having their ruby wedding anniversary or something. Beautiful blue and white china. Japan. It was all made in Japan. I loved that little platter, and I do need platters, so I thought of getting it, but I just put it back. I guess I wasn't in much of a buying mood. Sometimes you're not when you go to stores. You have to be in the right frame of mind to want to buy things. I loved this old milk crate though. How great is that? And I liked the edges. I liked the scalloped edges on those dishes. Virginia Rose, Homer Laughlin. Very pretty. And that's it. I've seen Homer Laughlin stuff before. I think that's a pretty good quality brand. I don't know too much about China brands, but if anyone else knows, I think they are. Another trove of fabric. When I see things like this, I wish I was a quilter so I could put it to use. There's this whole stack of samples. All these plaids. Oh, I wish they had yards of it. I'm looking for some good quality plaid to make some curtains for my husband's room, for his study. And any of these would have been great, but of course, not enough of it. I loved that basket. Would have been some kind of harvest basket. And some busts. I would like to start collecting busts, but not of American people. I would like to get some Greco-Roman looking ones. And then look at that. It said on the tag what it was for. It was for harvesting something. And I just fell in love with this desk. This was probably the most beautiful piece I saw all day. It was so well made, and I loved the patina on it and the little knobs. I could not stop looking at it. There's another trove of beautiful blue and white china at this one. And then in this back room, they had a lot of primitives. It was called something, like the booth was something primitives, something or other. Look at this beautiful bowl. Just look at the patina on that. I liked those little hat boxes, and then I looked at the tag and they were actually like made in China or something. Some more beautiful old Crocs and really cool wooden crate thing. More fabric. Really nice gingham tablecloth of some kind. Kind of wish I'd unfolded that and seen what it was in its entirety, but I didn't want to mess up the pile. They had this really cool, neat old trunk there, blanket chest, very primitive one, really cool. And then back here they had some neat furniture. I love that settee. What an interesting piece. It looks like somebody redid it, reupholstered it, and I like what they did. It's very Swedish with the gray paint. I probably wouldn't have done burlap on the seat, but I think it's pretty, I would take it. I liked it a lot. It's an old wardrobe someone had made out of beadboard or something, and really cool old blank picture frame. I thought of getting that and finding a picture to put in. Yes, looks like a dragon. Look at those dragons on there. How cool is that? How fun. Then we went back outside. They had a lot of fun benches, and I loved that iron cross. And that is South Glendale. So at the end of the day, I only ended up getting one thing. I found this tablecloth in that booth with all of the fabrics, but it is a tablecloth that I have never seen. So it is a map of Europe, and it has so much detail. It's incredible. It's got all of these monuments for each country and the crest of each country all along the sides. And it's in pristine condition. So I'm going to try to mount it on some canvas and have a wrapped canvas and use it as wall art in my home, because I think it's really fun to look at it. It's very educational. You can look at it and see where all these famous buildings are, and it's just beautiful. Hope you enjoyed this tour through historic Glendale, Kentucky. Please make sure and check out my other Thrift With Me and Antique With Me videos for more fun finds and interesting places. And this is Kathleen from oldworldfarmhouse.com.